Hey guys, it's been a while since I have done a vlog thingy. I'm sorry things have been pretty slow. I've kind of been taking a break, which is weird to say because I have no obligation to do this. It's a hobby, so I'm taking a break from my hobby, I guess. But I guess since I'm doing this whole Adult Swim month thing, I feel a bit more obligated to get things done on time within the month of September. But I may not. This next review is coming along really slowly. It's going at a real snail's pace, and I don't know. I might have to go outside of September, go into October a little bit, but whatever. This is my show. I make up the rules. Okay, so The Lion King 3D. This movie, when I first saw it, I saw it in the movie theater when I went to see something else. I don't remember what I went to see this time. It might have been Super 8. Yeah, it was Super 8. When I went to see Super 8, I saw this little cardboard thing for Lion King 3D, and I was like, holy shit, really? That's interesting. Because I was like, it's a 2D movie, and 2D movies are already becoming a rarity in and of themselves. But to make a 2D movie in 3D, that was something that I've always wanted to see, but I was always like, well, how would that work? And would anybody ever do it? So I guess, of course, it would be Disney that would try it first. So, yeah. If you haven't seen Lion King already, there may be spoilers, but honestly, who hasn't seen Lion King in their lifetime? Yeah. So, okay. The movie, you know what happens. It's Lion King. It's Disney presents Hamlet with lions. So, yeah. You know the story. It's a good movie. Everybody loves it. So, the 3D element of this movie, it was pretty cool, I gotta admit. And it's not just because I really prefer 2D animation over 3D animation. With 3D nowadays, it's more of the sort of 3D that provides, like, atmosphere. Nothing really comes popping out at the screen anymore, which I wish they would do that more often, because this new 3D is better than that shitty blue and red 3D, where when stuff comes out of the screen, it really does kind of feel like it's coming out at you. So, yeah, I'd like to see like one of those cheesy 3D movies where, people go like, oh, are we going yet, honey? Yeah, just let me grab my keys and we'll go. See, 'cause that would actually have a nice 3D effect now that they don't use the blue and red shit. But with the atmospheric 3D, it's more like everything just feels like it's on its own different plane. So there's a greater sense of depth in the film when it's in 3D. Now with 2D animation, everything is already on its own plane because you have the background image, which is its own layer. Then you have any images in the foreground in front of it, and there may be different layers of the foreground. There may be, if you have a shot of some mountains as the background, then there may be a few more mountains in front of it, and then maybe a forest in front of that, and then, you know what I'm saying. So each of those is usually drawn on its own layer too. And then of course you have the characters who are usually in the very foreground on their own layer too. So everything in a 2D movie is already on its own plane. And having it in 3D, it becomes much more apparent that everything is. You can really see the different layers of depth with the 3D element in a 2D movie. So that worked really well, you know. Like things there are a couple of shots that worked really well whenever there was a vast expanse of landscape in the movie. I actually felt a sense of depth with it. And I really like that. I like the atmospheric 3D. I do. But I feel that it works better in this 2D element rather in a 3D or live action element, really. And also in the movie, when there are rounded objects, like say a tree trunk, you really notice it in like Rafiki's tree, you know, when he's like painting Simba up on the tree trunk. The trunk actually does seem rounded. Like it legitimately looks like a rounded tree trunk. That was pretty cool too. I was like, okay, so I wonder if they just did like a 3D upscale of this movie, or if they actually went back into the original Lion King footage and did something with it. I'm not a real expert on 3D technology or anything like that, especially when it comes to 2D animation, because I'm pretty sure this is the first 3D 2D movie. And so I don't know what they did, but they did a pretty good job with this 3D stuff. And so I'm hoping that they'll do this more often. I'm hoping that they'll first of all, I hope they make more 2D movies, first of all. But then I hope that not every 2D movie needs to be in 3D, but, you know, big name movies, you know, Disney, and Pixar only does 3D. Disney... Is Disney the only one that does 2D animation movies? I mean, even they do it rarely now. Jesus Christ. Fuck. Well, yeah, because Disney also does the Studio Ghibli movies. So, yeah, Disney, you need to make more 2D movies, license more Ghibli movies, and make them in 3D. Because this 3D thing with the 2D animation, it works. It does. If you do it right. So far, I've only seen The Lion King in 3D. So far, every 2D, 3D movie I've seen has worked. Which is only one. So, do a couple more. I'd really like to see more. If they suck, figure out what you did with Lion King and just keep doing that. Because The Lion King works with the 3D. So, yeah.